guys, so for today I want to kind of touch up on internet speeds. I'm going to be upgrading from my 100 megabytes per second to the now released 400 megabytes per second from Spectrum Internet and show you guys whether it's worth upgrading or not. So let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so this is going to be the initial test through the Wi-Fi. We are just using a basic speed tester by Kodu, something like that. It's free, you can Google it. But this is going to be an initial test on the actual Wi-Fi network itself. Alright guys, so initially you guys can see here then at 822 my ping is at 16, which is actually pretty good. Normally when I'm gaming online I get a ping from around 20 to 35 or so. I've never really been at 35 as often. Usually I sit around 25 all the time. Our download speeds are going to be 46 megabytes per second, upload speeds at 11. So this is about half of what I'm getting. Keeping in mind, my laptop isn't the newest, it isn't the best, it doesn't have the best Wi-Fi chip in it, but we're also going to connect to the LAN cable and show you guys what the actual speeds are, just connected directly to the router itself, and then I'll also show you guys the 400 megabits and how close we can get to it once we have that installed and set up. So now if you guys can see in this bottom right hand corner, we are connected to the LAN cable, so now let's give it a test and see what we actually get as our results. Results side by side. This first one is going to be obviously with the Wi-Fi just enabled as well. Ping and be at 16, 46 for download, and about 12 for upload. Again, this is for the Wi-Fi one. On the top one, we did switch over to a LAN cable, only 5 minutes apart. My ping went down to 13. My upload speeds, my download speed, sorry, almost doubled. So it's almost at 120 now, which I'm paying for 100, so that's pretty good. Upload speeds remain about the same, basically 12. I do pay for 20, so the upload speeds aren't there exactly. Both on the same network and same provider as well. So now, once we move over to our new place, I'll show you guys the 400 megabyte internet, and then we can see what the difference is between them, and if there's even a difference, if I'm just wasting my money by paying more for it, or if I can get away with just doing this in a single household. Alright guys, so let's switch over to that. Alright guys, and now we have moved over to our new place. We now have the supposedly 400 megabytes per second internet from Spectrum. So this is going to be the Wi-Fi only test and see what we get off the Wi-Fi. Again, keep in mind, my laptop does not have the best connection, and my laptop only gets 2.4 gigahertz, not the 5G internet. So it does play a variable in this, but we will connect it to the LAN cable and do all that good stuff. So let's get it started. This one is going to be with the LAN cable already connected. Again, the supposed 400 megabytes per second internet. So let's see what it is. Rounding up, so 46 megabytes download, 12 megabytes upload. When we did the connected directly to the LAN cable, it's going to be 119 download speed, and then 12 upload speed. Then when we moved over to this place, our Wi-Fi was actually a little slower on the computer itself, only at 44 megabytes, so it did get beat out by 1 megabyte per second. but it did have an upload speed of 23 megabytes per second, whereas this one had 12. And then obviously where it blew it way out of the water was connected way directly into the Ethernet cord, almost 500 megabytes, about 12 points short, and about 24 upload speed. So that's actually really, really good. It looks good on the stats, but I'll show you guys also the results from download tests that I did, and I will talk a little bit about that. So let's go on over to the results. The results are in from all the testing we did. So initially, this is going to be the first test that we ended up doing. The first one was with the 100 megabytes per second internet at our old place. Starting off with the Wi-Fi, I downloaded a 1 gigabyte file, and that took 5 minutes, 46 seconds total. Second, I downloaded a 10 gigabyte file, and that took 55 minutes. This was just on the Wi-Fi on 2.4 gigahertz because my laptop is not capable of 5G. And then down to the LAN cable again with the 100 megabytes, took 6 minutes, 21 seconds. Down to the 10 gigabytes took 13 minutes and 13 seconds. The results from this test itself was that the 1 gigabyte was 35 seconds faster actually on Wi-Fi than it was on LAN cable, which that's actually surprising to me. And then from the 10 gigabytes on LAN cable 1, it was 42 minutes faster, which that just goes to show you that LAN cable is always going to be better no matter what. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of variance like this where Wi-Fi will win, but in the long run, LAN cable is always better for games, for anything you want to be connected directly to. Now we move on down to the second test that we did, now with the 400 megabytes internet here in our new apartment. Down with the Wi-Fi, same thing. We did the 1 gigabyte, took 6 minutes, 17 seconds. And then we did the 10 gigabyte, took 47 minutes, 43 seconds. So then we moved down to the LAN cable. The 1 gigabyte took 1 minute and 6 seconds. Then the 10 gigabytes did 11 minutes and 31 seconds. Down in the actual results, the results were that the 1 gigabyte was 5 minutes, 11 seconds faster than the Wi-Fi itself. The LAN cable ended up winning. And in this instance, the 10 gigabytes, the LAN cable also won, beating it out at 36 minutes, 12 seconds faster than having it on the Wi-Fi itself. And again, this is on the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi itself because I don't have 5G available on my computer. And now when we're comparing both of the actual internet side by side to each other, on the Wi-Fi from the 1 gigabyte test, which was an upset, the 100 megabyte internet was 31 seconds faster than the 400 megabyte, which I don't know why, but it was. Down on the 10 gigabyte, the 400 megabyte internet won obviously at 7 minutes, 17 seconds faster than the Wi-Fi did download the 10 gigabyte speed. Then when we moved down to the LAN cable, there wasn't too much of a difference that I thought there was going to be, but the 1 gigabyte on LAN cable was 5 minutes and 15 seconds faster on the 400 megabyte internet, whereas the 10 gigabyte was only 1 minute 42 seconds faster. And in both cases, obviously, 400 megabyte won on all of them. But my final thoughts on it, well, let's go to that. Being my final thoughts on upgrading from the 100 megabytes to the 400 megabytes, well, I wasn't really impressed yet. I mean, from the download test that I did do, there's going to be variables and all that good stuff, but honestly, I didn't notice too much of a difference. But in a personal use, from all the devices I have, the Alexa enabled devices, my 2 smart TVs, my PS4, cell phones, laptops, I've noticed I have no lag at all when I upgraded to the 400 megabyte internet. So I say it's worth it to myself and the preference that I have with my gaming speed, all that good stuff. My PS4 actually plays a lot better when it's connected directly to the cable itself. So overall, I would say it's worth it. I would definitely recommend it over to you guys, but I'm curious to know, like I asked in the very beginning, what do you guys use? What internet provider do you guys have? And do you guys have any questions for me as opposed to my experience right now with Spectrum Internet? I love Spectrum so far, so I mean, I would recommend it to everybody. If it's for internet only, as I have, I'd say internet. I'd say get Spectrum if you could, but it's all up to you guys at the very end of the day. But that's my review on upgrading the 100 megabytes per second to the 400 megabytes per second. So I hope you guys enjoyed and you learned a little bit from that test. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.